everybody. Welcome to Spotlight on Middle Country. My name is Lynette Paprocki, and I am the president of the Greater Middle Country Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Malafi. I'm the coordinator of the Miller Center at the Middle Country Public Library, and we're glad to be here again.
And today we have with us a very intriguing, I think you're all going to love this information that we're bringing to you today. Bill Hatzichristos, who is the owner of Native Ceuticals located in Holbrook. So Bill, thank you for being here today. We're excited to learn a little bit about Native Ceuticals, and this is an up and coming, brand new kind of development business, right? Because this is all starting to show up everywhere. And you know what? Let me stop saying that so that you can talk about what Native Ceuticals is. Tell us a little bit about how you got into the business as well.
Yeah, first, thanks to both of you for having me. It's certainly an honor. But yeah, Bill Hatzichristos, as you mentioned, I'll tell you, the reason I got into this business is when I hit 50. I was a former corporate executive with, I was a head of procurement for a couple of companies. One was the New York Mets baseball team. I worked for Bloomberg. You know, I did the morning commute, early train, Long Island Railroad to the city, back 14, 15 hours a day. And, you know, when I hit 50, I was like, okay, what is my legacy going to be for my family and my daughter? And I was like, yeah, she could say that I'm the best procurement guy that's out there, and I've saved people hundreds of millions of dollars. But that's not what I wanted. So I somewhat reevaluated what I was doing. And I said, let me really find a business to invest in, start as a founder of Native Ceuticals on Long Island. That's going to help people, number one. If you look at the news, you know that Long Island is having a horrible opioid crisis. I want it to be in something that is an emerging market, as you said, Lenore, you know, kind of brand new. And you know, I looked at a bunch of different businesses, and this one sat well with me. And I'll tell you why, because before I even opened, I bought product from our factory, about $5,000. And everyone I know has problems. Bottom line is we solve problems with anxiety, pain, sleep, gut issues, but then there's offshoots to all of that. For kids, ADHD, PTSD in our veterans. We have ladies going through menopause. I have a lady wheelchair bound, MS. You name it, you know, people are coming to us for relief away from those opioids. So I gave the $5,000 worth of inventory out to friends and family. And I said, just give me some feedback. Do you know 100% of them came back and said, Bill, those products life-changing, saved my life because of some really bad pain issues. And I said, well, okay, knowing that I have the testimonials from friends and family, I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So last February, we opened up our first store in Holbrook. I'm currently working with a couple of realtors for a second location, probably in Nassau County, but next year, I was approved by the mayor of West Hampton to go out there. So you'll probably see us out there next summer. So things are looking really bright. A lot of repeat customers. And again, we are here to really solve problems and give people relief without taking opioids. It's just too easy to get that script. So that's really why I started this business.
That's great. You know, I always admire people who want to do good. Ultimately, that's their main, you know, objective. And then in the background, you can make some money, because that's kind of where I'm always been.
and I'll tell you, honestly, what gets me charged up every day is when we open the store, someone comes in, Bill, I'm suffering. Oh, Lauren, my manager, who's amazing. We're suffering. Okay, we get to the root cause of the problem. You know, some people come and say, oh, I can't sleep. Okay. What else is happening? Why don't you think you're sleep? Well, I just can't sleep. I said, okay, I talked to them about anxiety. And then, you know, 15, 20 minutes later, as long as it takes, they say, oh my God, it's my anxiety that's causing me not to sleep. So then we address the anxiety, and guess what? All of a sudden they're sleeping now. So there are hundreds of people who have come through that door with their own unique scenario that we're addressing with this miracle plant called hemp. Nothing in our store will ever get anybody high. That's not the business we're in. We are in the medicinal business to get people well using the hemp plant.
Mhm.
Really, yeah. It's
So,
interesting. You spend a lot of
sorry.
time with everybody, right? I mean, that's a lot of time to spend with one customer. You're almost like a social worker trying to get to the root cause of why they're having all their issues they're having. I find that very interesting. Do you or Lauren have any kind of background in regards to that, or it's just a general conversation?
You know, if the products are used, it's easy to recommend a product once we know what the problem is.
Mm.
So most of our products are tincture based or oil based. I depending on height, weight, overall health, I make a recommendation as to what I know will work. And what I know will work is based on customers' testimonials. Some of it's a little trial and error because everybody metabolizes these extracts a little bit slower or faster. If someone who's 300 pounds versus 100 pounds, it's going to, we use a little bit less. So the unique situation, but it's really the customers that come in and say, I have a problem, making recommendations from our chief scientist. So we are all made in America, in North Carolina. My farm's there, my factory's there, my Idea Lab is there, marketing, CEO, all of those folks are right in North Carolina. We have a very unique model here. In the food world, you probably heard farm to table. Well, in this business, we are seed to shelf, meaning that we plant the seeds and we control the entire process all the way through what you see in our store in Holbrook. We always test for pesticides. We never use additives, never use preservatives. So that's another, to answer your question, it's another reason the products are working in 99% of the cases because of the quality of those products.
And I think that seems to be an issue some people have with hemp oils, is that the potency or where they're getting, what farm they're using is unclear. So knowing that provenance from the beginning to, as you said, ending up in Holbrook, just helps the customer feel more, satisfied and comfortable with what they're trying. From what you're saying, your friends and family 100% love the product. You're opening 2 more stores in the next year at least. I mean, that's incredible. If I were better at math, I would say, what is that, 100% increase, 200%?
200%.
But so I would assume that based on what you're saying, you have a lot of repeat customers maybe coming in and working with the doses to get to that, sweet spot.
Yes, and again, that makes me so proud to have people come back in and get a refill, or they bring in their friends and family to come in. Hey, now that I'm fixed up, I now want to start taking care of someone else because I couldn't before. But I'll tell you, Elizabeth, you bring up a great point about quality. It's super important to know that Native Ceuticals, I'm licensed by the state of New York to sell hemp. There are a lot of retailers out there that are franchises. There are smoke shops, which gives this industry a really bad stigma. The CBD is sold in gas stations. What's critical is that people really need to read the back of the bottles and understand what's in it, what they're putting in their bodies, but then to get that counseling. We're there. Even on my door, it says Education Center. Just come in and ask questions. We want to educate the public that CBD, CBG, and CBN, they're here to stay. This industry is just a couple of years old, but the science is there. It's all over. You can Google anything about it. The science, the studies are there. Listen, I could tell you, just about 6 months ago, Pfizer, they've made a multi-billion-dollar investment in a hemp farm. So they know that this is the future. I encourage anyone who's out there listening to this, their friends and their family, if anyone's suffering, just come into the store and talk to Lauren and myself, and let's get you educated about this industry.
And do you find that that's like a big issue within your industry, is combating that disinformation. So people are like, well, I could buy that oil in the smoke shop for $10. Why would I go to you?
The
But
problem
to me,
is,
it seems like I'm certainly not going to tell the guy in the smoke shop about my anxiety or that I can't sleep.
bingo. So that's the big difference. Here with me, you're going to have almost 100% success. If you go into a smoke shop, they're not going to counsel. They don't care if you have anxiety or pain, or your dog keeps you up at night. They just, here's what I recommend. They don't even know necessarily what's in it.
Yeah.
There's just no level. They're not getting to a root cause analysis. That's just what we do. That's
And it's probably not a good oil, I would imagine. It's not a good product.
Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but
Right.
but to that point, I do have people come in and say, I've tried CBD and it doesn't work. I said, well, okay, do me a favor, bring in the bottle. I'll offer you a discount just for coming back. They show me the bottle, and the top ingredient is something called hemp seed oil, which has zero medicinal benefits at all. It's not an
Oh, that's
extract.
good.
Okay.
Right.
But
So
it looks good, Bill, right? Because hemp seed oil, must be
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I would assume that's good.
Right?
Like,
Yeah,
great. It's
exactly.
not water. The
yeah,
first
and then
ingredient's not water.
listen, if you can't pronounce the ingredient in the bottle of a tincture, don't buy, because that means it's a preservative or some sort of additive. That's just fooling you. It's just not going to work.
I have another question that might seem weird. I know we have do have a time limit, but do you have, would you help somebody with a non-human who has issues, like for dogs?
We have an entire pet line. So I treat
Awesome.
dogs,
Okay.
cats, birds. I even have a customer who's got 100-pound potbelly pig. And I'm actually in the horse world. So we created, that's the flexibility that we have,
Okay.
is if there's a product that doesn't exist or someone wants, I talk to my factory, we go to our idea lab, and we actually make something for that individual person. We can do that. We even make custom tinctures right in the store. We have a custom tincture bar. So if a pre-packaged formulation isn't necessarily what I recommend, for example, let's say someone, menopause, a woman's going through horrible menopause, can't sleep, hot flashes, but she also has anxiety. We can actually make something that's tailored specifically to
Wow.
both of those issues. Yeah, it's so customization, quality, integrity, and we're licensed. Those are the messages, really.
Yes, for sure. For
Great.
sure. Definitely makes you different. So, Bill, we got just a little bit more time left. Really fast, I just want to make mention again where your store is located in Holbrook. You could tell us a little bit more in detail where in Holbrook. We are the Greater Middle Country Chamber of Commerce, which means we span out all over. And Bill realizes that the Greater Middle Country Chamber has some of his potential customers. And so he has been a part of this chamber for over a year already, and we're happy to have him. So Bill, with a little bit of time that's left, how do people get a hold of you? Now, you have your storefront, so tell us where it is, maybe a phone number, an email address. How do we get a hold of you if we're interested in learning more about native Ceuticals?
So we are at 480 Patchogue Holbrook Road. Most people have heard of Carlos Pizza or Carver's Restaurant.
Carver's, yeah.
The owners are fantastic, very supportive. We are sandwiched right in between, right next to the mini mart and the florist, also great people. My email is billh@nativeceuticals.com. Very, very simple. You can always walk into the store, call 631-823-0500. But if you email me, one thing I always do, it's on my business cards, is that my personal cell phone number is on those cards, and my customers have us for life. So they're not buying, walking out. We ask them to call back 3-4 days just to let us know how they're doing, and if we need to retool a little bit. So that's how you get a hold of me or Lauren. Email and 24/7 at nativeceuticals.com. Just look through the product line and then come back with any questions you have, and we'll be sure to answer them.
That's fantastic. We're actually right at our time limit, so this was perfect. Bill, I love this new business. I really do, because too many of us, not me, but too many, take too many pills and pharmaceutical pills. We're in the business of, drugging people instead of making us well. Hopefully this new, more newer, it's really not that new, it's ancient really, right? But this newer business can help people in a more natural way. So thank you, Bill, for being here. Really appreciate it. And anybody interested, visit Native Ceuticals. Tell them that the Greater Middle Country Chamber of Commerce sent you. So we're going to leave it right here and say goodbye now. Goodbye, everybody. Elizabeth, thank you for being my
Thank
co-host
you.
again. I so appreciate it. And Bill, once again, thank you so much for being on with us today.
This has been
And
great. Thank you.
Looking
see you
forward
all
to
next time.
visiting for sure.
yes, absolutely. Looking
right.
forward to seeing you all next time on Spotlight on Middle Country. Bye-bye, everybody.